I'm running away from the past I left behind. I'm looking for answers, but I'm blinded by the light. I'm lost in the music, can I stay here for the night? I promise I'll be gone in the morning, out of sight and out of mind. No blind, out of sight and out of mind. No
Hello. What's going on? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Steve, are you there?
I'm here, loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Microphone closer in a minute.
Yeah, nice and close, mate, nice and close. Hello, everybody. Why is the chat not coming up? What's going on with the chat? Where's the chat gone? Come on, everybody. What's happening here?
I can see it loud and clear.
You want to say hello to the people in the chat then?
Yeah, once it pops up in here, Trigger Lips is here. So Trigger, if you want to trigger right, Dave. If you want to come on live on air, even though it's 8 o'clock in the morning, you're more than welcome to join on the Discord along with anybody watching here. David Brown, I don't recognise the name. Hello. Harry Dawson, Zimmy, Michael Tilliot, again, don't recognise the name. Hello. Top Boy Trader, don't recognise the name. Hello. If you are new around here,
hello.
Why not hit the subscribe button if you can be bothered? Michael Svedin, hello. Connor, PM, Armand, Dylan, Fader Raza, Armand, Dylan, Tezza, and a few more people here. And more importantly, Jace, do you want to tell the chat? Oh, brilliant. I've just seen what you put on the middle screen there. Do you want to tell the chat why we're doing this? Because
Well, I just finished a call with Steve-O doing just updating his graphics on his laptop. So I just figured, well, we're both here. We're both doing it. I've got an hour or so to spare. Why don't we just set a stream up? And I'm enjoying talking about FPL. I'm enjoying talking about different combinations, and it'll be interesting to see if we can get some people maybe to come onto Discord and talk to us. If you're not already on the Discord, why not? Get yourself in a Discord at Elite FPL. On all social media, discord.gg/Elite FPL. Just type Elite FPL in the server search on Discord. You'll find our channel. Server, and get yourself in the waiting room, guys. Get yourself in the waiting room. Talk to me and Steve-O. Get all the answers you need to win your FPL mini leagues. That's what that's what I'm going to say. Well, I will apologise in advance. You will hear me coughing throughout this throughout the show. As some of you may already know, I have got a bit of a cold. Well, the after effects of a chesty cold. Hopefully, it's nothing more sinister.
And just to let people know, Trigger Lips is going to be coming on in about 2 seconds, but I just need to do some admin. So thanks to Paulie. Paulie has set up, I was supposed to say this last night, but so people will be aware that the score predictor game is pretty much non-existent anymore, unfortunately. I'm not going to go into details why, because we'll be here all day, but basically it doesn't exist.
Yeah, there's lots of reasons why, but we're not going to talk about it because we don't talk about it.
We'll be here all night.
Yeah.
So Lino said, why don't we just do a Super Brew Elite FPL mini league? I said yes. Paulie pretty much agreed that he'd be more than happy to download, or more specifically create, an Elite FPL mini league, and that's what he's done. So if you want to know what the code is and everything, you can go into the Discord on the Score Predictions channel and literally just sign up through there. It's quite simple, really. I'll be certainly doing it, and there's a lot of talk in there with Paulie and various other members of the community talking about the score predictions and everything. It's a very popular aspect of the show. So all I will say is that, if you want to be involved in the score predictor this year, or more specifically the Super Brew score predictor, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, Jace, I was watching your stream earlier, and it's looking more and more likely you're just turning your team into mine.
What do you mean, man?
Apart from you got Salah.
Apart from the fact I've got Salah, that makes a massive difference, Steve-O. I can't have the same team as you and have Salah in it.
No, I know, but the majority of your players are virtually.
Well, no, it's not. It's just popular picks, mate. It's not your team. If you search Elite FPL, not Elite FPL. If you go on the fantasy football website right now and literally go transfers in top percentage of ownership players, it's all the same bloody players. There's nothing bloody unique about it. There's nothing. I'm not breaking the mold in any way, shape, or form. And as soon as I try to break the mold, what happens? Chat goes into meltdown. Streamer doesn't know what he's talking about. Needs to dislike the channel, unsubscribe, boycott Elite FPL, send a report into YouTube, get us suspended again. Yeah. You know, it's one of those things, isn't it? You just got to live with it, unfortunately. The crowd, they like to play it safe. And, you know, as soon as you try and stray from the safety net, it's like, oh, I don't think you should be doing that. And there's there's good reason for it, to be fair. There is good reason for it.
I mean, in all seriousness, I do like your team. It's just very, very similar to mine, apart from the odd differential. You've gone Salah, I've gone Fernandez. You've gone Madison, I've got Eze. You know, it's just these small, tiny... Oh, and did you have Colwill in the team?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, Colwill versus Chilwell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just these tiny little differentials, whereas for me, I've set up so for anybody listening in, I actually recorded a 30-minute video today in the morning, scheduled it for 9 o'clock, but then Jason then decided to stream to highlight the new graphics, and let us know in the chat what you think of the new graphics. And the
some great feedback so far. Thank you so much for that feedback, guys. I really appreciate it. You know, ultimately, it's just, you know, I said that I was going to update the graphics. It does bring a lot to the stream. The presentation is really important. So, you know, hopefully people appreciate it. And
yeah. And then, like Jason just said, we then were just updating my thing, and he just went, "Should we just go live?" Yep, sure. So I've just rescheduled the video for tomorrow. But spoiler alert,
Tomorrow
I
morning.
basically just changed Watkins for Pedro, because I just think that Pedro's got more of an upside to getting more points than Watkins in game week 1, and then the plan is to bring in Watkins for game week 2 for Pedro, but also potentially bringing in Diaz for Martinelli on a -4. And I've worked out from my predictions that I would be up. I think it was by 8 points. I think I'd be up by 8 points, because I just don't think Martinelli's going to do much at Crystal Palace. And I think that Pedro away at Wolves is going to be a tough fixture. And going with either Diaz or Jota, but I'm more in favour of Diaz. I just think there's more of an upside. And I just think, just to hell with it. Like, as I mentioned in the video, there'll be people now going, you can't do it, not allowed to do it. Why? If you can come with a Discord and explain to me why I'm not allowed to do it, why I'm not allowed to do a -4, despite the fact that you are a rival, he's a rival, he's a rival, he's a rival, she's a rival.
Oh, just to let you know, Paulie's in the chat saying that he set the Predictor League up. Just to let you know.
Yes.
If you hadn't have noticed that.
So it's all sorted. So yeah, I've got a quick plan in play here. And then, do you know what, Jace?
What?
I'm really happy with my team. I'm really happy.
How many times have I heard that, Steve-O? How many times
no,
have I
but
heard that?
now this is pretty much set. It's done. I don't need to
Set in
change
stone.
the team at all. I'm going with this team into game week 1 unless something drastic happens in the next 48 hours.
Hello, Adam.
Which is, it is crazy to think, though, isn't it, Jace, that on Friday?
Oh yeah, it all kicks off again.
It is the day.
It's the day again. Yeah, we start again, and you know, it's in a way I'm kind of I'm looking forward to it, because I don't want to keep going around my draft going, oh, have I made the right decision? Have I got the right player in? Should I go with Salah? Should I not go with Salah? What do you? And again, in my head, I'm thinking, if we only knew what Liverpool players were like odds on to start and be like more nailed. I mean, you mentioned Gakpo, but I've heard other people saying Jota. There's a case for Diaz as well. I mean, so, it's a minefield. It really is a minefield, man.
In my video, I make this point that Salah is 90 minutes plus. We know that for fact. Even if they're 6-0 up, he'll play every single minute. Then the next one, in my opinion, is Gakpo. I think Gakpo's the next one who will play the most minutes of the match and is more of a guaranteed starter. And then it's down to the other three, Núñez, Jota and Diaz. But I think Diaz is the one that Klopp wants to have as a starter and have Jota on as the impact sub. That's how I think Klopp sees it. Now, obviously, he can play Gakpo, Salah, Diaz and Jota, because I believe all four of them played the other day. I think that was the case. Núñez is the one to avoid. Just sack him off. If anybody owns him, sack him off.
Just stay away from Núñez.
Yeah. Neil Robertson, if you're watching. But certainly the other two in Diaz and Jota. I mean, I saw Nuke Adams tweet about Jota, and he's very, very keen genuinely very, very keen on Jota for game week 2. Go for it. If you genuinely believe that Jota is the best pick for you in game week 2, fuck him, get on with it and do it. Because we're all in this ridiculous, stupid sheep mentality of like, oh God, I consume this content, so oh God, all these people are doing this and this, I better copy them. Just try and block that noise out and just focus on your own research and your own mathematical probabilities. And it's why for me, every time I go and occasionally tinker like I was last night, it always comes back to this 3-5-2. Always comes back with this 3-5-2. I can't get rid of Shaw. I can't get rid of Chilwell. I hate losing Martinelli, specifically for game week 1. Fernandes. There is so much upside to Fernandes. But in my video, I compare him to Madison, and I'm like, Madison versus Fernandes. What's the upside to Fernandes? What's the upside to Madison? What's the downside to these two players? And I look into the history and stuff, and again, spoiler alert, it turns out Madison's the best pick. But my fucking head...
There we go.
Yeah, exactly. But my head is saying I'm going with Fernandes.
Well, I do hope that by game week 1 we do have 4 or 5 different players in our team.
Well, my team is so.
You posted it in the Discord.
Yeah, I'll do a screen. Yeah, I'll do a screenshot and I'll whack it in the.
Is it the same as yesterday?
Well, apart from Pedro and for Watkins, that's it.
Just post it in there again, and I'll get it on the screen, mate.
Yeah.
And then the people in the waiting room with Trigger Lips there and Magic in there too. We'll get you on very shortly. But yeah, it's very much a case of just if we can find a way of having fairly different teams, it would be really cool. Really cool.
I don't want to have different teams for the sake of having different teams. Like, oh God, Jason's got the Chilwell, so I've got to have whoever. James. I'm not want to be doing that, but certainly Dan's just voice messaged me. Dan, come live on air. Don't voice message me. Talk to me on air.
Oh, okay.
Come live on air. Where are we?
Live on air.
Live on air. There you are, Jace. It's in the team screenshots.
Great. Okay, it's Johnston in goal. Chilwell, Shaw, Gabriel, Bruno Fernandes, Saka, Eze, Martinelli, and Rashford. With Jalper, it's Pedro, isn't it? Pedro, Pedro, and Haaland up front. Yeah, I mean it's the same. It's the same. It's the same.
So who in that team is different from you?
Who's
so
on your bench?
Johnson, it's Cash, Bulldog, and Kabore.
So different players in the team are you've got Bruno Fernandes. I've got Salah.
Which is a massive upside for you.
Well, yeah, but let's go through it all. So I've got Salah, you got Bruno Fernandes, you've got Martinelli, I've got Madison.
Yeah. Which
may end up being well, again, depending on who you talk to, Arsenal fans.
Dan.
So I've got Jackson, you've got Eze.
Yeah. He's a lock. Eze is a lock for me.
And then you've got Chilwell, I've got the budget version, Colwill. He's not attack minded in any way, shape, or form. And we've both got Gabriel, actually you've got Shaw, I've got Dalot.
Yeah,
so that's one. Well, at the moment I've got Dalot, but I do think he's going to start. Yeah, I do. I think he's going to start, but I think he's not nailed. So this is
trust me, when you talk about Dalot, and I was at work, I was thinking, mate, it would be Dalot one game, and then when he wants to go to the Tottenham game, he's not playing Dalot, he's playing Wan-Bissaka. He's playing Wan-Bissaka against Tottenham.
Well, it will change Wan-Bissaka and Dalot again versus the teams they're playing against, and there's a good chance that against an attacking team, he'll prefer to play Wan-Bissaka, absolutely. I don't think Wan-Bissaka is just going to be resigned for the cups, for example. So, so for basically the differences at the moment, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players different at the moment as it stands.
In the starting 11?
Yes.
Oh, is it that much? Is it?
Yeah. So Chilwell, Chilwell, Shaw, Bruno Fernandes, Martinelli. Hang on, Fernandes. 1, 2, Fernandes. Yeah, that's where it is.
And Eze.
Yeah, and Eze. So Chilwell, Shaw, Bruno Fernandes, Eze, Martinelli, all different.
But Chilwell is the same team as Colwill.
Yeah,
Shaw's
yeah,
the same team as Thingy.
Yeah.
So really, I put it down to Fernandes versus Salah, Eze versus Madison, Martinelli versus whoever else it was, Jackson.
Yeah.
And then in game week 2, there's a very, very, very high chance I'm doing that -4 and getting rid of Martinelli. And it brings me that Liverpool coverage. And the last time Liverpool played Bournemouth and it ended 9-0, we all know Salah did nothing. And I'm already predicting Salah to get a minimum of 10 points, minimum. Diaz got 2, I think it was 2 goals and an assist, or 2 goals.
Yeah. Are you going to be watching Liverpool closely over the first few games and working out who you think Klopp's going to favour? Or do you think it's just going to be Salah in for me?
I don't need to
nice
watch.
and simple.
I don't need to watch Liverpool because we know what they're going to do. It's Chelsea and Tottenham, and Man City, ironically. It's then
Man City,
and
Man City,
Man U
yeah.
as well. Because Garnacho, genuinely,
if Garnacho can get a string of starts, he will be bandwagon.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, in the words of Ricky Gervais. But no, I think that I think that you could definitely get ahead of the curve on that, because if he gets regular starts, then he's a gem at 5 million, isn't he? No, without speaking the obvious. But yeah, let's not go round and round circles in topic discussions. Let's get some callers on, Steve-O.
Yep, let's get on with Trigger Lips.
Who are we getting on first? Trigger Lips, yeah?
Trigger Lips was there first.
Trigger Lips coming on. Yep, Trigger Lips.
We'll bring him on. Just drag him in. Here he
He's
is.
added his team here. Hello, Mr. Trigger Lips.
I see animations is there. I wonder what animations wants to talk about. Jason, do you think that I'll be going with Son in game week 1? Yes. Right. Cheers, animation.
Trigger Lips, are you alive? Go ahead, Steve.
It's early in the morning. In fact, I'm going to deliberately bring animations on just to get the question out of the way. Animations, just unmute your mic, ask the question, just say the line, Bart, and then we'll just let you go. Come on.
Wait, is everybody?
I was only going to come on for 5 minutes and just tell you about
it's going to take less time than that.
I wasn't
do
really,
the line.
Yeah, I just wanted to say hello. And,
hello, mate.
Yeah.
Come on, say the line, Bart. I'm
going to go with some game week 1, probably not.
No.
No, I probably will go with him, maybe.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Probably.
Well, I'm 80% sure with my team now, barring Son, really.
Well, you asked Jason the question earlier. You have the opportunity to ask him right now. You still haven't asked the question. Do the line, Bart.
Do I go with Son game week 1?
No.
All right, fair enough.
I think that he's not demonstrated any form. Certainly last season he was absent from most people's radars because he was literally pants, and I think this season he's not even in pre-season he's not demonstrated any change in his bad patch of form. I think that Madison at 7.5 for that $1.5 million less is the much better pick. But however, for a game week 4 wildcard, if that's what you're intending to do, you could certainly look at players like Son to see how they are shaping up. And if you want to commit 9 million towards Son, then I think having the data to back it up over 4 game weeks minimum is probably wiser than jumping on him game week 1.
Okay, well, let me just jump in there. Why then are you? What's the difference between Madison and Son?
Madison still had a good season last season, even though Leicester was shocking. And Madison we know he's consistent. He's a consistent performer. He's the gel that's going to bring the midfield and strike force together. One would imagine. I'm much more confident with Madison at 7.5 than I am with Son at 9 million. I mean, for all we know, Son's past it now. Like, I hate to say it, but there's no signs that his confidence is or abilities returned back to a few seasons ago. So, yeah, I mean, by all means, Tottenham fans, come on here, tell me what you think about Son. I mean, Brew, I really don't have much more to add than just why would you? Well, okay, let's just flip this back. Why do you have this urge to get Son in your team? Animations, like what is it? Do you think that something's like amiss here, and that you've seen something that no one else has seen, and you're thinking, right, I'm going to get ahead of everyone else on the bandwagon and get Son in? Because at 9 million, I don't think. I mean, the ownership's going to be less than what, 2%.
Yeah, I do think that. It's just, I don't know, I feel like we're going for Son. If he doesn't work out, like Steve-O's doing with in game week 2, right? He doesn't want to have Watkins for Newcastle, right? Say, for example, as he's saying, he's going to get Watkins in game week 2. I could easily do Son to Bruno Fernandes and be happy with that. But now that everyone's talking about Madison and stuff, I'm probably very much tempted to probably just go with Bruno from the start.
Well, have you got that 9 million to throw around on one midfielder for Tottenham? Like, how have you got that money to just throw around? Like, most people are spending 6.5, 7, 7.5, 8.5 max, like trying to squeeze in the value so they can get in the players they want. How are you able to just throw 9 million on Son, an uncertain gamble? Like, how are you getting? What I'm asking is, where have you posted your team in the Discord?
Yeah, I did.
And by the way, Trigger Lips, if you are listening, we did try to talk to you. So if you want to get yourself back in and sort your mic out, because we couldn't hear you talk, mate. Oh God. Okay, so for those listening in, Johnston, Estepinian, Gabriel Shaw, Matoma, Foden. So Foden, Son, Saka, Rashford, Haaland, Watkins. Okay, so you've got a rotation risk in Foden and 9 million in Son. I think those are the two standout ones in that team. I think that draw my eye. Good, it's a good team, and by all means, if Foden starts, I would put money on him scoring a goal or getting himself, certainly as an assist. Son, on the other hand, if he starts, I wouldn't be so confident.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying, right? It's the dilemma I have of going for Foden and Son, or having Bruno and Madison. And I think now that I keep talking about Son and being annoying about it and stuff like that, I feel like I probably will end up going for Bruno and Madison, probably. I think it was just a jokey thing, really, with Son, but I don't know. Maybe I'll end up with him.
So it comes to game week 1. You've gone with Bruno Fernandes. He just gets a measly assist against Nottingham Forest, and Son's got a goal and assist, 3 bonus points against Brentford. You're going to be devastated.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing about FPL, right? If Son ends up going off and getting points, and I talked all this crap for like the last 3 or 4 weeks being on the streams and stuff, and I look like an absolute idiot.
Go with your gut, mate. Go with your gut. Don't listen to what I say or the chat say. Go with your gut. If you feel that something's going to happen with Son, stick with him, man. But just as long as you're prepared for the downside, and that is, of course, the likes of the Martinellis out there, the Bruno Fernandez's, the Madisons, etc., etc. Maybe outscoring Son. As long as you're prepared for a 6.5, 7, 8 million midfielder outscore Son for game week 1, then you're fine. As long as you're prepared for that and you're not going to implode and get angry at yourself, stick with your gut feeling, go with Son.
I think I'll definitely think about it. I mean, yeah, I'll probably end up balling it, but Yeah.
Well, how certain are you now at the moment?
Well, if I feel like I want to keep with Son at like 6 o'clock on Friday, or if I get early team news about Foden, then my gut will just either say switch Son to Bruno, go with that team. I'm happy with that. I mean, the only thing about my team that I don't like is no Chilwell, but I don't expect him to get loads of points against Liverpool, West Ham probably, but yeah. I think I'll just go with my gut, and whatever happens.
Go with your gut, mate.
Yeah.
Go.
I mean, like
you
you said,
only regret it if you don't go with your gut and you listen to it. If you're it depends. If you're listening to other people and understand their point of view, and then do your own calculations and come to your own decision, that's different. But if you're just listening to other people and trying to get validation for your Son pick, and they're saying no, and you're changing your mind because of that, then you've got the right. Then you're going to have that trap of getting angry at yourself because you should have stuck with your guns. So really, it's a case of just take information as you will, but stick to your guns.
What is your dilemma? Sorry, Foden and Son, or Fernandes and Madison? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right. So based on my predictions, Son and Foden, and bearing in mind Foden is not a guaranteed starter, so this is only based on if they play 90 minutes. It's only based on if they play 90 minutes, right? Combined, I'm expecting them to combine to get 50 points. Madison and Fernandes, I'm expecting 37. So it's a 13-point swing. But again, I caveat that by saying Foden is not guaranteed, and you could probably deduct off 24.7. So then we're only talking really 5 or 6 points between these two, because you've got to look at factors like Madison is playing in a team now who have got players in front of them who he will create many, many chances for, especially Harry Kane, and they will put the ball in the back of the net. Hence why I'm just going an average of an assist a game. He could get a goal and assist, or just a goal, but just an average of an assist a game. Fernandes, same thing really. The only problem with Fernandes is that, I mean, Jason's better to speak for me, but he does like to drop deep. Oh, he does. And it's really, really frustrating.
Well, he likes to have possession of the ball, and how United have been playing, is that they do like to play from the back. And when you're playing from the back, and the ball gets played to Casemiro, you find that Bruno's dropping deep to give Casemiro the outlet. The ball's not being sprayed over the top that often, so it's being played early to Bruno, and then Bruno's then looking up to try and make the pass. But yeah, it can be frustrating because it's not the same Bruno that we saw when he burst onto the scene, running into the box. It's a different type of Bruno. Still fine from a footballing point of view, but from an FPL point of view, not so much as exciting as, say, a winger or an very attacking central midfielder.
And to answer Balls Deep's question, does Kane's potential move, he ain't moving, help or hinder Son of Madison? It hinders a lot, because you've got a guaranteed goal scorer who's going to be averaging a goal a game. The only downside to Kane is that trying to work out when he gets double the amount of points. That's the hard thing. I mean, Trigger Lip. In fact, do you know what? Let's just bring Trigger Lips on now. What he's just said there. You're more than welcome to stay on. Animations is up to you.
No, I don't want to take up too much time with everyone else. I mean, I apologise if I'm annoying with this Son stuff and all that. But
Don't apologise. It's a conversation, mate.
No, I know. It's just I don't want to get on people's nerves. I'll let other people speak and maybe come on next week, maybe, or whenever again.
Tomorrow night.
I won't be tomorrow night. Don't worry. I'll let everyone else have their own time and everything. Don't worry.
Cheers, dude.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
Right. So, Trigger Lips. Hello, Nick.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, there's the voice.
You can hear me now, can you?
We can hear you now.
Loud and clear, my friend.
Hang on, I'll just turn the sound down on the stream.
You've just put a point in the comments about Fernandes being the guy that's going to be more going into the box than Fernandes. Mason Mount.
No, Mount going in the box. Yeah. Well, we don't know, do we? That's the thing. We don't really know yet. So.
Well, Jason, you're the Man United fan. Have you got anything to say about that?
Sorry, what was the question?
Mason Mount will be the one that be advancing in the box more than Fernandes.
I think they'll take it in turns. I think you'll find that if you look at the preseason games, the way that Ten Hag set the team up and the way they've been shaping up, you'll find that they both kind of were sort of taking opportunities to go advance of each other. So I wouldn't be surprised if that continues. I wouldn't be surprised if there's an agreement between them that one of them will go forward, one will stay back, and just keep an eye on them as the season starts, really. But if Mount is going advanced and getting into the box and getting on the end of opportunities, certainly like he was doing at Chelsea, then it could definitely be someone that people look at as a differential in their FPL teams.
I just feel like he could be taking points away from Fernandes. So that's why we're probably going to go with Madison, I think, because like you two have been saying, with Kane in front of him, he's not playing far behind Kane. And if Kane stays, I'm definitely going with Madison. Otherwise, I'll put Fernandes in. But, I think Madison's too good. Look at, he's got good fixtures too, for Madison.
I honestly think that that Anthony is more of an FPL asset over both Bruno Fernandes and Mount. I honestly do.
Look at Tottenham's fixtures in 3, 4 and 5. They've got Bournemouth, Burnley and Sheffield United, 3 in a row. And to bring him in now, it means you save yourself a transfer later on. So
yeah,
that's why I consider him better than
not fancying Kane then. Kane and Madison doubling up.
I'm too scared to take out Haaland, basically. When I made it one team with Salah and Kane in it, and it looked really good.
Can you make a team with Haaland and Kane in that you like the look of, or is it just a bridge too far?
No, not really.
Yeah,
it's a push too far. It's a bit. Otherwise, I'd have a Salah and Haaland team. So I think aren't Kane and Salah the same price?
Well, I've got a Salah and Haaland.
Yeah, but you've had to make quite a few compromises. So I think you've got Colwell instead of Chilwell.
I do. Yes.
Chelsea are going to be conceding. It doesn't matter so much with Chilwell because he's going to get goals and assists, whereas Colwell just going to be losing the clean sheets, getting 2 points.
Yeah, against Liverpool, I grant you that, but I think the games after that aren't too bad, are they? Let's have a quick look.
I think if you're getting him,
West Ham away, Luton at home, Nottingham Forest at home, Bournemouth away. These are games that they can keep clean sheets in.
Yeah. By all means, get him. But I think if I were you, I'd try and find a way to put him on your bench.
Well,
this game.
Well, that's a tough one. Have you seen my bench?
Who are your other two on the bench?
My bench, there's nothing nice on the bench. Baldock, which is Sheffield United, obviously, and Kabore, which is the Luton defender. So there's not much on the bench in terms of rotation.
No money in the bank. No money in the bank.
That's unfortunately the price you pay for having Mohamed Salah in your team and Haaland. The only thing I could do is downgrade Garnacho to a 4.5 midfielder and then throw an extra 0.5 to get, say, a cash in and play cash. Or another.
Even, I know you've got Pickford already, haven't you? I was going to.
No, I got Johnston. At the moment, I got Johnston.
Tarkowski, whatever his name is, looks very good because Everton have got nice fixtures.
Yeah, but it's Everton.
Yeah. I'm not confident in Everton at all. I think they're going to be. In fact, Planet FPL asked the question, just as a jokey one they do every year. Predictions that you think will happen, but no one else does. And I said, or improbable predictions, whatever. And I said, Sean Dyche to be fired after 10 game weeks because they're down to about 15th, 16th. I honestly think that Everton are an absolute sack of shite. And I truly think that those fixtures, as you are completely right, as favourable as they are, Sean Dyche, I don't know what it is about him. He just seems to be so conservative and doesn't allow his players to express themselves. And Everton fans, after because the history suggests Fulham are going to beat them, then they got Aston Villa away. Wolves at home is just a horrible fixture. Sheffield United away, Arsenal at home, Brentford away, Luton at home, Bournemouth at home, Liverpool away, West Ham away. Those 10 fixtures, admittedly, you're looking at Fulham, Wolves, Sheffield United, Brentford, Luton. Brilliant fixtures. But
exactly.
I bet you
every game.
Dyche will cock it up. I think Dyche will cock it up, and I reckon by Saturday, the 28th of October, there'll be 14th, 15th. Fans will be disgusted by the quality of football. They'll get on his back. The owners will be thinking, hold on a minute here, I can't see this turning around, and he'll be out the door. That's what I genuinely do think will happen. But on the upside, Fulham at home in a bit of disarray at the moment. They don't know what's happening with the manager. They don't know what's happening with Mitrovic. Various injuries in the squad and so on and so forth. They may nick a 1-0. They may nick a 1-0.
Dyche does get sacked, it'd be from being too boring. But,
well, yes.
That'd be good for their clean sheets, though, won't it?
Yeah, I mean, they will play a brand of football which is, as we know, just these two essentially blocks of 4.
They're going to be playing the brand of football
the football was. That's what you want.
They're going to be playing like 1950s football.
You can get, I mean, like I said, you can get a cheap defender, but for what possible returns other than maybe a clean sheet? In fact, I would be more confident in, ironically, a defender getting an attacking return for Everton than I would be a clean sheet. Because he loves to just whip the ball into that.
Well, that's why you were all over Calvert-Lewin for like a couple of weeks.
Yeah. I don't. In fact, I think Calvert-Lewin's probably the better option if he was fit. But there's just so many ups and downs with him. I would be personally avoiding Everton like the plague, but there is reasonings as to why people have gone with, like yourself, Nick, with Pickford, because, you know, if you're basing it on probabilities and keeping a clean sheet against Fulham, I don't personally see it myself. Aston Villa away, absolutely no chance. I see them. I personally think that's got 2 or 3-0 written all over it. Wolves at home, 0-0, 1-0 to Everton, maybe at a push.
I mean,
2-0.
the reason for Pickford is that Dyche sets his teams up to allow shots from a distance that are easy to save. So Pickford's going to get quite a lot of saves. So
he'll get saves. He will get saves. He will
get a huge amount of clean
but he's not. And this is why. Sorry, Trigger Lips. But in the chat, people are saying why not choose the likes of for example, Johnston. Arguably in a better team, still will get saves, but will get more clean sheets than Pickford. I mean, but again, Dyche is setting up defensively. It's going to be hard to break them down. They could end up being a good team for clean sheets. We don't know. We just don't know yet. But
last season, Jace, Pickford came eighth in the goalkeepers. So you got Raya of Brentford. Yeah, 4.5. Well, he was 4.5.
He came 8th, and Everton were absolutely useless last season.
Yeah. No, I see your point.
But when you've got someone like Johnston who was getting those double-digit returns, he played last season. He played 810.
Who was in goal for them last season?
Well, it was mainly Guaita.
Yeah, and he didn't get many points. He wasn't much of a.
We know because he's useless. That's why Sam Johnston was brought into the team to basically upstage him. It's the same with Trafford.
I'm I'm not sure it's the quality of the keeper that makes the difference. It's the quality of
no, it
is.
I disagree. I think it is because
I think it's a bit of both. I think ultimately there are people that have Pickford in their team calling and backing you up in the chat to Trigger Lips, so I wouldn't worry too much.
I understand the Pickford pick. I get it. I truly do understand it. But from my point of view, just going on the for instance with Burnley, Trafford has been brought in to be the number one goalkeeper in the next few years. But this season, I think he's been brought in to really give that competition to Muric to up his game. Muric has done nothing wrong. Muric deserves to play from the start against Man City until he starts making too many mistakes. And then Vincent Kompany goes, right, Trafford, you've been banging on my door. You think you should be number one. You're only 19 years old. I'm going to give you the game against whoever it may be, say for argument's sake here, as I look through the fixture list, of course, I've put Nottingham Forest away, just for argument's sake. And if Trafford does really well in that, at that point, Vincent Kompany goes, right then, Trafford, you've got the number one until you make a cock up, and then Muric will hopefully behind the scenes be up in his game. And it's the same with Johnston last season. I think he proved what a top quality goalkeeper is by coming in, doing what he needed to do, and then he's just taken over quite as well. I mean, Jason, you're a goalkeeper. If you had someone of your
I'm not a goalkeeper anymore.
Well, you were, with your experience.
Dude, I was Sunday League goalkeeper, all right? Just what about it?
You could apply it to anything though, but let's just use you as the example of goalkeeper. If you're got someone that's on the subs bench that you think, hold on a minute here, they're providing pretty much the exact same competition to me, and I don't want to lose my spot, you're going to up your game. Yeah.
Well, there's nothing more that a footballer wants to play than to play games, right? So, yes. If they've got healthy competition, they know that they're being watched. Their every move's being watched, and certainly in goal, if you make mistakes, it's definitely a case of like, you've had your opportunity. Someone else is now looking to get in and take your spot, and it's more so in the sort of grassroots level, where obviously there's a lot more from the pool, at that sort of level. But in Premier League, I mean, there's only so many mistakes a goalkeeper can make in the Premier League before the manager will start, interchanging and resting him. So, but yeah, I think healthy competition is obvious, really. Yeah.
I think looking at this as well, like from a clean sheet potential for Crystal Palace, you look at the fixtures and you go, they're horrible compared to Pickford. But Sheffield United away, I think there's actually a very good chance of them keeping a clean sheet, because Sheffield United are going to be absolutely useless this year. Arsenal at home, no chance.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yes, yeah.
Brentford they're worse than Luton, to be honest, at the moment.
Yes. I completely agree.
They've got a 19-year-old striker and he can't hit a barn door. He's absolutely useless.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are actually putting him into their team, but I don't think he's going to be in there within a couple of weeks.
Who, this striker that they've got, this 19-year-old? What's his name?
4.5 million. Something or other. I don't know.
Asula.
That's him.
Asula.
People are bringing him in as 4.5 striker because he is probably going to be starting, but he's just not very good. He'll probably end up going on loan by the end of the transfer window.
So your team up on screen, Pickford, Gabriel,
Palace
Chilwell.
have got a very good chance of a clean sheet this weekend.
Yes, they do. So Pickford in goal, Gabriel, Chilwell, Estupinian, whatever. Martinelli, Rashford, Saka, Matoma, Madison, Watkins, Haaland. Now you've written underneath here the names of players that I'm assuming you're thinking of having instead of those.
I've gone off Jackson because I
okay.
think Chelsea are going to be pretty poor without Nkunku, so I've gone off Jackson. It'll definitely be Watkins, I think.
Right, okay. And then this Fernandes Madison chat, you're really confident going Madison instead?
If Kane stays, I'm very confident.
He will be. Don't worry about that. He's
and I've set my team up so that I don't have to make any transfers in the first few weeks. So I want to have a Tottenham player in place already, so I don't have to bring one in on game week 3. So
I've got to say, Jace, if
don't
you
like
had
Brentford either, so
Brentford, I wouldn't.
they've lost their keeper and everything. So I'm quite happy to get Madison in from the start and expect Tottenham to get a few goals in that one.
Yeah,
I
think
Kane's going to be on fire. I think if he's staying.
Yeah, I agree. I think based on my own player predictions and what you're saying, I think you are genuinely persuading me to go Madison over Fernandes. The thing is, though, is that I want 3 Man United.
You don't want to do that. Don't want to go Madison, mate.
Yeah, they could destroy Wolves. To be fair, I mean, it looks like Wolves are losing their manager in the next few days.
And this is exactly it. Yeah, this is what I'm pinning my hopes on.
A lot of people are actually captaining Rashford now, aren't they? Quite a few people captaining him.
What, me? Yeah, I've had him captain since day
have you?
1. Yeah, because I'm just looking at it from a realistic point of view. That in fact, you were the one that brought it. Well, you were kind of reinforcing my opinion that Man City just look punch drunk. They just are going through the motions. They look terrible in the Community Shield, in my opinion. They're opening up against Burnley, where, yes, Man City will win 2 or 3-0, 2 or 3-1. Will Haaland get something? Yeah. Will he get 2 goals? There's a decent chance. But really, seeing the way Haaland's performing at the moment, I've got more faith in Rashford, Nick, to do something against Wolves. Let's just say, for argument's sake, Haaland scores 1 goal, Rashford scores 1 goal. Well, Rashford still comes out on top because he's a midfielder. And I am genuinely happy to captain Rashford at home to Wolves than Man City's Haaland, where it's just my opinion. I just think Haaland's only going to get the 1 goal.
A thread on Twitter today that said that Haaland's a lot less points away from home than he does at home, and most of his big hauls have been when he's been at home.
Yes.
The only reason I'm captaining him is because if you're wrong, does you a lot more damage if you're wrong and Haaland gets the points. Whereas if you're right, it does, overall, I think I'm playing it safe in the first couple of weeks.
Honestly, there is nothing wrong with playing it safe, but I made a point on last night's stream, genuinely. So for argument's sake, Haaland gets a goal against Burnley. Kane gets a couple of goals against Brentford, right? Go to game week 2, and Haaland, he gets his standard double-digit haul against Newcastle. But Kane, again, comes through with a goal and assist versus Man United because of their attacking thing. And you're thinking, hold on a minute here. Kane is outperforming Haaland. And then it's Spurs away at Bournemouth, who they like to play a lot. And I mean, there's goals in that game. So Kane again continues scoring, whereas Man City on game week 3, they're away at Sheffield United. And don't get me wrong, that's where Haaland, I think, outshines Kane at that point. Game week 4, it's Man City at home to Fulham, where again, I think that's where Haaland outshines. But Tottenham are away at Burnley. And I'm telling you now, Burnley's record against Tottenham is horrific. Spurs will tear us apart. And I wouldn't be surprised if Spurs were to score 3, 4 goals against us. Whereas Man City at home to Fulham, let's just say 4 or 5-0. Haaland, may get 1 or 2 goals in that game, but Harry Kane gets a hat-trick against Burnley. At what point are we thinking, I'd rather get Kane instead of Haaland? Because even last season, admittedly, Kane played, I think it was like nearly I think it was 800 more minutes than Haaland.
This is why it's good. This is why it's good that Kane's staying. Well, hopefully he's staying, because it's going to cause us a lot of problems. I mean, if Haaland blanks in game week 1, a lot of people are going to start switching to Kane straight away, especially as City have got Newcastle. And going to be a problem because his price is going to start dropping and template will start changing. And he's very difficult to get off Haaland just because of his fixtures.
Yeah.
You might find he's even rested in 1 game or 2 if he's not in form. Pepper rest him. And so Jason might be right. You might have to start looking at teams with both of them.
Wait, what? You said I'm right. I'm worried now. You saying I'm right?
Well, well, you're only right. You're only right if Haaland doesn't score, but I can see.
I don't think there's going to be many people that are too brave. I think the upside is incredible, but the downside is also equally as incredible.
Yeah, but there's going to be about 20% of teams that are going to have Kane. And they're going to start getting away from Haaland teams. They're going to take a couple of blanks from Haaland and 4 or 5 goals from Kane, and we're going to be a long way behind all of a sudden. Especially as the Kane teams have probably also got Salah in and can afford better backup players because they're cheaper than Haaland is.
You make a good point. And there are people. I mean, we just had a call to talk about Son. I mean, and obviously animations about Son and the having the cojones and having the balls, or the literally just the ability to just go against the grain and go against what 99% of people in the Discord, in the forums, wherever you go online to get your FPL information or other content creator channels. No one's going to be advocating getting Son in. No one. But if you think that you can get something out of that pick, a one-up on a rival, or get yourself, you've got information or you've got a gut feeling on it, then who's anyone to tell you not to do it? I mean, yes, the safety is in numbers. This like pack mentality. It really is pack mentality. Let's just get, just the popular template players in, and we'll just watch the first 4 game weeks and then we'll react to it then. But some people, some fraction of the community will go maverick and choose some players that no one else would consider or even think of. And they're the ones that have the upside. They're the ones that could be sitting in the top 100, or beyond after game week 1.
So I've just put a poll deliberately in the chat just now, and it just simply says, are you happy with just a Haaland goal versus Burnley? So just one single goal versus Burnley. Trigger Lips, would you be happy with 1 goal?
If you got a couple of bonus points, I would be. Eight
points. Just one goal and that's it.
6 points.
So 6 points.
No,
total.
I'd settle for that. I think I'd settle for that.
Okay. If you're happy with just the 1 goal, so you have to wait to then see the more other popular picks when they've got, with the likes of Wolves, Man United, Wolves, and then you've got Arsenal at home to Nottingham Forest, and the people that have got the cojones to, which again, if they've got the cojones to captain these particular individuals, good luck to them. As patronising as that bloody sounds, I know, but it is a long slog, and as you keep saying, like, you're a runner, you do a lot of it, and you go out for jogs, and it's a marathon, not a sprint. And it's like what most of the good FPL players do, like yourself. It's you start off slow, don't make too many silly decisions, and then it's like the last 10 game weeks where it's like, right, bang, go. I think too many people are obsessed with, I've got to be number 1 now. I have to be number 1 now. Of the 5 million people that are playing at the moment, I have to be number 1. And in fact, I'll be honest. It's I've got to beat Jason. I've got to get ahead of Jason. No, you don't. If by game week 10 you're only 10 points behind Jason, it's not a bad thing.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. It really is.
Yes. If I'm 50 points behind Jason, slight difference, but 10 points or so by game week 10, and we've got just a couple of players different. I'm willing to go. I'm willing to be happy with that and just keep plodding along, so long as I'm doing all right within the mini leagues. It's just once you start slipping really far behind, where you just like, there's no way in hell. Like last season, for example, I was so far behind the guys in the various mini leagues. Like I was 100 points off X, Y, and Z, and it took me weeks and weeks to catch up. By which point it was too long gone. That's the problem. And me personally, would I be happy? I wouldn't want any goals against Burnley, but would I be happy with just a goal versus Burnley, just 6 points? Not really. Not when deep down, I think for me, there's a more higher upside to Man United beating Wolves 3 or 4-0, even though the history suggests 1-0, would you believe? 1-0, Jace. And Fernandez's history versus Wolves and Nottingham Forest and Tottenham is pants. And would you go double defence in Man United, Jace?
I would consider it, yes. Yeah.
Because if we're going on what Nick's saying here, because I want 3 Man United. I want 3.
Fixtures aren't great though, are they, really?
No, I think 2 midfielders and if you're going to go 3 right now, I would, and money wasn't an option, it would be Bruno Fernandes, it would be Rashford, and it would be Onana or Shaw, one of the 2.
We're away to Tottenham and Arsenal in the first 4 weeks, so...
Yeah, I mean, Spurs away, it's got 3-1, 3-2 written all over it. Arsenal away, well, 1-1, 2-1 either way, something like that. So basically no clean sheet, but Forest and Wolves, virtually guaranteed. Brighton at home, no chance. Burnley away, no chance. Crystal Palace at home, no chance. Yeah, yeah, you're right, Nick. I don't think double defence would be a good enough option at all. And it goes back to with Pickford. Pickford is a very, 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 very good standout option. I just think that you guys that are going with Pickford, you could be in for a lot of disappointment. You could be, but it's all just a probability game, isn't it? All just a betting game. And if we knew what we were going to get, we'd be millionaires. To be honest with you,
goalkeepers you can't really predict, can you? Nobody knows if Johnson or Pickford's going to get more points.
No. Nick, is there anything more you want to say?
What else can I say? The only thing with this team here is I'm a bit worried about not having Pedro.
Yes.
And I'm worried about not having Fernandes, because they're the 2 I'm actually worried about not owning. Chilwell, I'm kind of wavering on Chilwell because I think Chelsea aren't going to be as good as thought they were going to be because of Nkunku being out. I was actually thinking of putting Shaw in, but these 2 fixtures are putting me off.
Why does one player affect Chelsea that much, in your opinion?
Well, everything goes through him. It did in pre-season. It's like he's a class player. He's in the number 10. Without him, not looking so good. That's why I'm not considering Jackson so much now. Be all right come game week 3 because they've got nice fixtures. It's just Liverpool game. I probably will put Chilwell in and just hope that he can get some attacking points, because Liverpool do concede, don't they? So
I think my predictions for Chilwell over 4 game weeks is 21 points. Nothing against Liverpool. Game week 2 gets an attack and return. Game week 3 just a clean sheet. Game week 4 a decent chance of an attack and return. But again, you can just 21 points average
big points against some of those teams, couldn't he?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know,
just do me a favour and don't bring Havertz in.
What do you think of Mitoma versus Pedro? Because I was looking at Pedro in a 3-4-3, putting a 4.5 in instead of Mitoma.
Me personally, I think Mitoma is just your assister. Again, I don't know the exact stats. I don't really care about the exact stats. I just base it on what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing. Mitoma just seems to be maybe caught out a bit. People may know a bit more about how to play against him, and I think he's going to be assisting quite a few. Whereas Pedro is in goal scoring form at the moment.
Scored 7 and got 9 assists last season.
Yes.
Pedro has only scored 2 in pre-season, and they were both penalties, I think, weren't they?
But he's on penalties.
Yeah,
it's the extra. Well, they've got some flair players that will drift around players into the box, and you'll be surprised. I think Brighton will get a decent amount of penalties over a course of the season, and for that 1 million cheaper, you know, Pedro could definitely be, and has been, from what I'm seeing in the drafts, a popular pick.
Are you going to start him after the first 3 game weeks? Because if you're not, it's quite hard to get
But then
rid
I'm
of.
wildcarding game week 4, so it doesn't matter. So.
Okay. Because otherwise he's quite hard to get rid of, especially if you don't have any money in the bank.
Yeah, that's why I'm getting rid of them in game week 2. I'm just going straight to Watkins.
That's why I'm not getting him at all, because I think if I get him, I'm going to end up having to spend points to get rid of him.
Yes, yeah.
And Watkins has got some. He's got a couple of bad fixtures, Watkins, but he's also got some very good ones.
I think Watkins can literally score against anybody, but then again, he can also. I mean, I'm stating the bloody obvious. He's not one of those players that likes to play certain teams, like Berbatov when he was at Man United. He only seemed to like playing against the relegated teams rather than performing against the big sides, as a simple example. Salah's another one. Salah loves playing the crap teams at home, whereas Watkins, I mean, can I envisage him scoring against Newcastle? Can I envisage him scoring against anybody? Is the simple answer. Yes, but I'm more willing to
get anything against Newcastle, but I'm not. So the thing is, I don't pick my team for game week 1. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So
yeah.
I pick my team so I don't have to make future transfers. So
we had but put it this way, we had a guy, and I always remember this guy. It was 4 seasons ago. His name was Showman the Mane, and for the first half of the season, I'm not joking with you, every single game week, he was legitimately doing anywhere between -12 and -20 for real, and he was something like 12,000th in the world by, I don't know, let's just say game week 15, game week 20. Then he just vanished. He just disappeared. He was like top of all our mini leagues. He was absolutely smashing it. And we were thinking, how's he doing this? And he said, I watch a lot of football. I can kind of see where a player's going and so on and so forth. And you're thinking, this is just crazy. You can't keep this up. Well, unfortunately, due to real life situations or circumstances, he just literally just stopped playing FPL. But I don't see any issue in what you're doing, Nick. Is the perfect example of a very, very good fantasy manager who's looking ahead, picking a team for game weeks 1 to 6 or whatever it bloody is, and then you can strategize and then jump onto potential bandwagons if and when necessary. Whereas for someone like me, I just want to just attack the game week now, and then in game week 2, it's to hell with it. I'll just do a -4 to get in Watkins for that good fixture against Everton, bring in that Liverpool player ahead of someone that's got a more poorer fixture, and just in try and enjoy the game like that. Because for me, I love Watkins. I love him to bits, but it's just that game against Newcastle, whereas Pedro at home to Luton, there's so much upside to it. If he came away with a hat-trick in that game, I wouldn't be surprised. And for me to miss out on a hat-trick, whereas Watkins gets nothing against Newcastle, I'd be feeling sick, to be honest with you. I'd rather just jump on it now.
I'm worried about not having him, because his price will go flying up as well if he does get points. Yes. His price is going to fly.
Your team here, I would rather, this is just me, I'd rather go 3-4-3 and just replace Matoma with Pedro. That's it. That's just from my personal point of view.
The other thing I can do, because I've got 2 million in the bank, is replace Sims with Joe and play Botman instead of. How can I do it? No, I still have to leave someone out there, wouldn't I? Can't play 8 forwards, so I'd have to leave somebody out.
So Pedro.
Steve, I'm just going to have to go in and get a drink, mate, but I'm mindful of other callers that want to come on as well. Back in a moment.
Pedro in for Sims. That gives you then one.
I've got to bench somebody then. Now, who do you bench out of those front 7?
Well, this is my dilemma. This is why I've just gone. Do you know what? I can't have everybody. For instance, Salah. I've been looking at doing as the best team that I did was yesterday, and it meant that I had a 3-5-2 with Salah in it, but it was finding that 6.5 midfielder that I was confident in having, and I'm not interested in Buemo, I'm not interested in Matoma. And what was it? I was trying to think what it was. It was Haaland. I think it was Haaland, Watkins, and Pedro. I think the front
Maybe
three.
I should get Pedro instead of Watkins. Someone's just said Pedro.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not scared of Watkins. I'm not scared of Watkins not having him in game week 1. Do you know what I mean? But I am a bit scared of
Pedro
not having Pedro.
The amount of people that will have Pedro. I mean, what is he selected by now? 11.9% of the game. But if you're going by the Twitter community, it's a lot higher.
Every team I see on Twitter's got Pedro in it.
Yes. Yeah.
Last year they all had Neto in, didn't they? And then he was gone after a week or two. So there's always one bandwagon that Twitter goes on that usually fails.
Well, I just can't see it with Brighton, a Brighton team that score goals for fun everywhere. Phil Stones is saying, in the Championship, Pedro scored 11 goals and got 4 assists in 35 games. He played for Watford, Phil. I'm not going to profess to know much about Watford last year, but he played for Watford. And, yeah. Oh, here we are. Breaking news. Wolves manager has officially resigned.
I'll see. I might get back on Fernandes.
Thank you, Paulie.
Hey, I'm going to get off now anyway because you've got other people that have to come on.
Yeah, this is our problem. We do. I say waffle. It's a great conversation, to be honest with you. Are you going to do a video today, tomorrow?
Yeah, I will do one, I think.
Excellent. Good. I'll be looking forward to that.
Can
you make it longer than 30 minutes, please?
I'll try it. No one will watch it then, no.
Fucker, mate. Just do your usual thing. Because I was in the car.
I started watching one yesterday and it went on for like 3 hours or something. I lost the will to live after that 20 minutes.
People love it. A lot of love. Oh, one quick question. Fozzie is asking quick thoughts on DCL.
Yeah, apparently the manager said that he's going to be very cautious with him and he won't be starting this week. Once he is starting, he's going to be very good, I think, if he's fit.
Agreed. Nick, thanks for coming on.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers, dude.
Talk to you later. Okay.
Yeah,
bye,
safe,
everybody.
mate. There's Trigger Lips there. You know who he is. A very outspoken, but very, very well-spoken individual when it comes to talking fantasy football. I'm deliberately going to be bringing on people that I don't recognise the name / are brand new. So I'm going to go with someone that starts with, well, their name is W. And I've pressed the wrong button here, as always. W, you're live on air. You've unmuted your mic. You should be able to hear me. Hello.
So, yeah.
Hear us?
I can hear you, yeah.
Yeah, have you got this stream muted?
Yes, I have.
Brilliant. Good. You sound very young. This isn't really a young audience-based channel. How old are you?
16.
And how did you discover Elite FPL?
Well, trying to find FPL, but it's just giving assistance to me because I don't really know anything. So.
How did you discover us, though?
Just search for some FPL streamers, and then I found you on Twitch, and then I saw, yeah, on Twitch.
We're not shadow banned on there, so that's probably why. Okay, so you're actually joining us from Twitch.
Yeah.
And what's your name?
Connor.
Connor, right? Okay, cool. You're not the Connor that knows soccer. Don't worry about that. How long have you been watching us for then?
Yeah, so 2 days maybe.
Oh, okay, fair enough. No one will see your team up on screen, so I'll have to read it out. We've got Ramsdale in goal, Trippier, Walker, Martinez, Madison, Fernandes, Matoma, Rashford, Saka, Isaac, Haaland, and you've got Fernandes captain. Now this is what we classify as a very, very differential team. Is this your first ever season playing this?
The first proper season, yes.
What do you mean by proper season?
Like, I just played it for fun. The seasons before.
So this season you're planning on winning your mini leagues and trying to get as high as you can in the ranks?
Yeah, but I changed the captain to Rashford. Made Bruno vice captain.
Okay, so what's made you go with a lot of differentials, especially with the likes of Walker and Martinez and Trippier?
Yeah, Trippier was good last season. Therefore, he might be having a good start again. And Walker, I saw him playing against Man United, my favourite club. And he was pretty good there as well. Could be key. I don't know if passes matter, but probably he can defend good and stuff. So.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think Walker is a very, very, very good player, but isn't he leaving?
No, he signed a new contract earlier today.
Did he?
Yeah, Fabrizio Romano confirmed.
And he's 5 million?
Yeah, 5 million.
Well, you're guaranteed a minimum of 6 points with Walker. He's not much of an attacking threat like he used to be with Tottenham, but certainly with Man City. You know what you're getting from him.
We've got some new people in this community. I just want to say hello to the new people. We've got Jerome Robinson in the chat as well. Hello, Jerome. Shout out to everyone in the chat. I'm going to be reading through your comments, and I've just come back. So, hello, Magic. Thank you. Pretty awesome that you found the channel through Twitch. So people do check out FPL content on Twitch. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I am listening in. I'm just going to be taking some cough medicine, but I am listening in eagerly. And I like the Walker pick. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I agree. The Walker pick is very, very. I think it's very, very good. I think he's virtually a guaranteed starter. Martinez. What's with the Martinez pick?
Yeah, Martinez. Really not sure about him, but good last season. Got injured, sadly. So he kept the team fighting. Helped us to keep a lot of clean sheets. Maybe gets some points through that, or maybe he gets an assist or two because the passes he makes, the long balls. So
yeah, I mean he's a guaranteed. When he's a guaranteed start, we know that much. From an attacking threat, he's not that great, but for 5 million as a defensive option for Man United, to hell with it. Why not? Have you not thought about maybe Onana instead of Ramsdale, and then maybe Martinez? A Gabriel instead of Martinez, or Saliba, or White, or basically an Arsenal defender.
Yeah, could change that. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Onana as a Man United fan?
What?
What are your thoughts on Onana being your new goalkeeper?
Onana, haven't seen a lot, but sometimes he makes a bit of a mistake or two. But I think he's a good goalkeeper.
Yeah, I think
I don't think he's been making mistakes though. If you watch the goals that he's conceded, it's been from a misplaced pass, isn't it? Really, from whether it be Wan-Bissaka or Dalot, or someone from midfield. It's normally, or Maguire. It's generally from a misplaced pass that's caught him out. Because what Onana likes to do is he likes to play sort of like a little bit like Edison, like sort of advanced. Out just outside his box when his team's in possession, he likes to be out advanced so he can sweep up the ball if the ball gets played, over the top, and he can kind of counter press and again start playing out from the back. So, he was unlucky to get lobbed the other day. I don't think that was not his error. Positioning wise, he's a very advanced goalkeeper and almost like a Neuer-esque. I don't see it being a fault of his, but I think as our defence improves and as we play our strongest defence, whether it be Varane, Martinez, Dalot and Shaw, I would hope that we're going to see less of these sort of like ridiculous passes, sideways passes that are going to concede possession. So, But yeah, I like the Onana shout on that one.
Yeah, the only other thing I say pick up with your team here, it's actually a very, very good team, to be fair.
It is a good team.
You're going with Isaac.
Yeah. Like last season, I thought he was like okay, maybe he's gonna score some goals or two against who they're playing, Aston Villa.
I'd have thought Wilson would be a more better option for a striking. If you want to go Newcastle striker, I'd have thought Wilson would be the better option.
I think Wilson's on the bench.
No, I think Wilson is going to be up front with Isaac and Almiron. It'll be Isaac, Wilson and Almiron up front.
Doesn't have to be Newcastle though. Change something.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is that why don't you have a player in Wilson from Newcastle who's going to score goals rather than Isaac, who, yeah, he's got that explosive potential, but he's more...
He's got a left, isn't he? Left-hand side.
Yeah, he'd be assisting Wilson.
He's not as central as Wilson is basically what Steve was saying, and he's arguably going to play a few more minutes as well.
Yeah. Can try and think about that.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone in the chat's thinking the Brighton 5.5, but I like the fact that you've got someone different. I appreciate that. I just like to see new names on. It'd be boring, wouldn't it, if we just brought people up here and it was just the same names, same teams. So yeah, it's fine.
I'm not going to name them, but an individual.
Perfectly fine.
Basically, you know, essentially, you need to change this team up. This guy needs help, and it's like, well, if we were to push everybody in the same direction, it's just becomes boring. Whereas this is a genuine discussion. Connor, thanks for coming on.
Cheers, Connor, man. You're a star, buddy. Thank you so much, and thank you for jumping on and joining the community. Cheers, man. Legend.
I'm deliberately picking people that have never come on before, so I think I'll go with. Well, I can't even do it, Jay, so you'll have to do it. Andy Chats FPL.
Okay, cool. Stan's asking in the chat when we're next live.
Damn, tomorrow. Genuinely tomorrow.
Who we're bringing on?
Andy Chats FPL.
He's not there.
Was he gone, has he?
Andy Chats FPL is not in the waiting room.
He's left about... Oh, right, he's now gone. Brilliant.
Well, to be fair, people have been waiting a while. So.
Yeah. I would go with C. I think that... Oh, no, that's Crazy Jacks. Go with Edgeworth. Go with Edgeworth.
Hello, Mr. Edgeworth.
Edgeworth is a regular in the YouTube.
Evening. Fun fact, this is actually my 1 year anniversary in the Discord.
Welcome. Well done. You've made it a year. Do we get a prize for that?
Any prizes? I don't know.
I don't know. But we've got your team up on the screen here, and I'll read it out for those people that find it hard to see. It's Onana in goal, Botman, Estepinian, Gabriel, different, Mudryk, Salah, Madison, Rashford, Saka, Haaland, Pedro. It's a couple of names in this team which is different from the temp. Botman and Mudryk. So you've chosen Mudryk. Tell me your thoughts behind that pick.
So Nkuku is, we know, out for 16 weeks, and I don't have the funds to get Chilwell in, and Mudryk is going to be on the same side as Chilwell, so I'm kind of trying to cover for him almost, but I feel like that Liverpool game there's going to be goals, so I think I need a Chelsea player for that, and I think Mudryk is like the best option in my that I can get within the budget.
Steve-O? Chelsea attackers.
Let me just come. You carry on talking. I'll just fuck something up.
Okay, no problem. Well, I think everyone at the moment is laser focused on Jackson, aren't they? Why do you think Mudryk has got potentially a higher output than say a Jackson? How much is Mudryk?
6.5.
So he's 0.5 cheaper than Jackson. Is a midfield. So it's a midfielder. So what's your? Did you consider Jackson at all, or are you just thinking that Mudryk offers a bit more?
I think you know, you got Mudryk against Trent, and you know, I really dislike Trent this season. The way he's been playing, he's been going into CDM, and I just feel that there's so much space there, and with Chilwell behind him, you know, I just think he's gonna get Mudryk in so many good positions and get.
Did he score a goal last season?
Who's that?
Mudryk.
I'm not sure, but I also think, you know, it's a new manager. You got new players in the team. You know, I think it's almost a fresh start for Mudryk. He's also just got the number 10 today or yesterday. He got the number 10, so I think that will also help him. So yeah,
it's different. It's different, and I like different. For 6.5, people are generally looking at the Matoma sort of price, like that sort of player, pushing to 7 million and beyond. I think that it's different, but I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad. But like I said about Son, this is a much cheaper version, so this is much more doable than Son. But like I said about Son, he hasn't demonstrated recently, or certainly for Chelsea, that he is capable of being a consistent FPL asset that's going to return you points. However, you have made a point of mentioning, you know, new manager, new system, you know, potentially a new vibrance in the squad. I just think that maybe it could be one of these players that will emerge as being an FPL gem at 6.5. Absolutely agree with you on that. Maybe a lot of people in the chat will be thinking, bit risky going start of the game week 1 with him in your team. Could be someone that you look at getting in on an early wildcard. But like I said earlier on, people that make decisions early will reap the rewards of the points and the price rises. Could definitely pay off for you, man. It really could.
Yeah.
It's a bit risky for me, but it could definitely pay off.
I think another reason why I have him is because in my team, well, apart from Botman, there was I have so many people that are, you know, 10%, 15% ownership above, and it's just trying to find ways of, you know, getting people that aren't in the template that will, you know, break through and get them points to put me above people that, you know.
Mate, for 6.5, I completely understand your thought process with Mudryk. You know, he's not breaking the bank. He's in a you know, on paper the squad's brilliant for Chelsea. You know, can they translate that to performances on the pitch? We will have to find out. But, you know, there may you may very, very well be ahead of a bandwagon with Mudryk. You really could. But are you planning on wildcarding early, or what's your thought process with Mudryk? How many games are you going to give him? Because they've got a good run, haven't they? They've got a decent run of games.
Yeah, I mean, I you know, I'm not. This season, like last season, I was bad with it, getting people out early. But I think this season, I'll probably give him 3-4 weeks. But also, you got so many people at that 6.5 price rise. I mean, not price rise, sorry, like price point. That, you know, I can go to it as a, you know, Mbebu when he comes back, I can go to him. There's so many people I can go to from Mudryk, but it's not, you know, it doesn't worry me if he's, you know.
Yeah, you're not pricing yourself out, but you've got to watch out for price rises of them as well.
Yeah.
So you've just got to be mindful that if you got Mudryk and he's not doing anything, and the other players like Eze and Matoma are scoring, then you need to be careful and not be stubborn about having to make transfers if you need to.
Exactly.
But Steve, have you got anything else to add?
I just think this is a very, very, very good salad draft. 3-5-2. I personally don't like the Botman pick.
I think with Botman, he has good rotation with
Cash.
With Cash. Yeah. So I think first game week Botman in, and then game week 2 and 3 when Botman has City and I forgot the other one, but it's a top 6 club. Cash has good fixtures for them, so I can rotate him in, and then game week 4 or game week 5, I can look to get like a Colwell in or someone with better fixtures.
Yeah, so Botman will have it's Man City and Liverpool.
Yeah,
they're the 2 fixtures, and Cash has Everton and Wolves, I want to say, or Nottingham Forest or something like that. Let me just quickly check. Everton and West Ham, is that? Burnley. So 2 very, very good fixtures. The only downside to Cash is that not exactly a guaranteed starter, but for now he is. So we're kind of okay with Cash at the moment. I think here is the thing with your team is that you've clearly got a plan in place. You've said what you said about Mudryk. If he doesn't perform, there's other 6.5s that are. You can jump on them, and with the Botman and Cash rotation, you're doing this. There's brilliant plans in place. How strong-willed will you be? I mean, I've already seen Podmer in the chat saying words to the effect of, this is like your 5th draft today, isn't it? I mean, how many times are you changing your team?
Well, Podner likes to make many comments about me and my FPL decisions.
Like
so, in Hangouts. But anyway, I think I was.
No. If he's having a go at you, you can have a go back. Come on, what was he saying?
Well, I won't discuss for things outside of Hangouts, but he doesn't like my style. But he finished in the 7 digits last season, so
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, if you're putting time and effort into thinking about your selection, and you're happy and confident with your choices, I mean, just don't listen to the noise. You don't listen to the noise. I mean, I'm a great example of that. I'll have ideas and I'll be thinking of things, but I get shot down by the chat quite often, and I'll think, you know what, maybe, and I'll listen to them, but they're not always right. The amount of polls we've done in the past, the amount of unanimous consensus that's gone completely the wrong way, the crowd isn't always right, and stick with your Botman, stick with your Mudryk. You've got a plan in place, you've got a rotation in mind, and go with it, man, and just go in with that gut feeling and that conviction. And
Podder's asking the question here: are you bringing in Skip?
Well, no.
What's the joke there? What's the joke? Clearly, it's an inside joke. What is it?
I don't know. The only joke for the foursomes, I joined Spurs. I guess that's the joke. I don't know.
We get Podner on here to talk about his team, and we'll have to see how amazing his team is.
Yeah.
Edgeworth, thanks for supporting the show.
Cheers, man.
No problems. See ya.
Catch you in a bit, man. Catch you in a bit.
Yeah.
There's Edgeworth. I am wary of the time.
No, we're going to have to go through them, man. We need to get through these guys. There's some new people in here as well. Some new ones.
Yeah, so I'll say JR17.
It's like WWE, isn't it?
Yeah, JR. Good old JR Barbecue.
JR, how's it going, man?
Hi, can you hear me?
Perfectly fine, buddy.
Cool. I'm Jerome, by the way. I joined like half an hour ago or something. So.
Oh, brilliant. Awesome, man. So you just found the channel?
I'm being serious. Like, it was on the YouTube home screen.
YouTube home? What?
Yeah, I'm being serious. Like, I've watched a lot of FPL stuff this week.
Mate, I'm telling you, YouTube do not throw us any bones.
Yeah, it was. I'd love to show you, but the screen's gone now. So.
Oh wow! I mean, so there you go, Steve-O. So Steve-O, this stream we haven't sworn in this stream so far. Maybe we've just got to go to like some therapist or something and just speak nicely, and then we won't get shadow banned on YouTube. No, I don't think it's going to happen. You've been
shadow banned before. That's crazy.
I believe I think we both do. Steve-O's let's put it this way: it's 18 plus.
Oh right, okay.
21, I would say.
He's a Londoner, right? He doesn't have a filter on his language.
Oh, same for me. Interesting.
Yeah. So, but welcome, man, and thank you for jumping in. We really appreciate callers coming into Discord. This is the lifeblood of the channel. This is what makes it so
I love
unique.
Discord. When I saw this, I was very surprised. So. Really good idea. I'm being serious. Really good idea.
Well, we've been doing it for on and off for a couple of years now. So we really wanted to push it this year and continue doing it through the season. So we're going to give it our best shot and keep the momentum going. But your team's here up on the screen. I'm going to read it out for people listening in. We've got Stealing Goal, James. Oh wow, double up. James, Estepinian, Chilwell. We've got Saka, Fernandez. That's Bruno. Odegaard, like the Odegaard pick. Rashford, Martinelli, João Pedro, Haaland, and I'm assuming the bench is just going to be...
That bench is very light. It has let me check. It has Baldock on it. Yeah, just
Baldock.
2 4s and a 4.5. Yeah, Baldock Bear and a 4.5 forward. Really.
Yeah. Okay.
Now I came on here because I don't so the theory here is right. I'm looking at the first 3 and I'm trying to really press those fixtures. Right. I'm trying to press them with the Arsenal, the Man United, and the Brighton people. I'm trying to press those hard, and adapt afterwards because I have $1 million in the bank here. So I guess I want to get some thoughts on that really, like the actual strategy here because
I think immediately get rid of James. Just get him gone. Just waste of money. I just think that you only need the one. If you're thinking. When you say 3 game weeks, is that because by game week 3, 4 you're wildcarding?
Yeah, no. So what I want to do is because what people tend to do is that they don't they make a team that lasts 3 or 4 weeks, so they don't have to use transfers before game week 3, so they can have 2 for that game week, right? So that's why I'm not too worried about the Chelsea people because I think I'm going to have 3 by game week 4.
And are you a Chelsea fan by any chance?
No, I'm not. I just saw their fixtures from 2 to 8, and I was like, yeah, those look like ridiculous.
They have got good fixtures, yeah.
Well, West Ham are definitely scoring against Chelsea. That's really? West Ham at home are very, very good. I've actually deliberately got Bowen in my Sky fantasy team for that game, and I think Bowen could be a piece of gold in Sky, but that's a different story for a different day. But I think drop James and just bring in a Man United defender. Really? That's as simple as it gets. That's all I would do with your team. Leave it, done. See you on the deadline.
Interesting.
I think this is brilliant. I genuinely think this team here for your, like you quite rightly said, these opening few fixtures. Man United have got great fixtures. So have Nottingham Forest. So have Arsenal.
Forest, yeah.
Brighton. You've got the coverage of Haaland, obviously. And then it's, well, a lot of people are going Chilwell, have him. But then, who's that third defender going to be? Well, do not have another Chelsea defender because they're going to concede against Liverpool. They'll concede against West Ham. By which point, James will have gotten up because by all accounts, he's a bit more restricted in not necessarily his new role.
I've heard a lot about that, yeah.
Yeah, so I would just go with, for safety, probably a Man United.
I would just say sure, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. That's it.
Okay.
Done. That's what I would do. Just rely on that, done, and just wait until game week 3 where you go, right, well, Fernandez is doing pretty poorly at the moment, get him gone. Man United conceding lots of goals, get Shaw gone, and then upgrade Fernandez to whoever, downgrade Shaw to whoever, and then, or even as you just rightly stated, go to the Chelsea assets.
Because what bothers me is that before Jesus got injured and Nkunku got injured, I didn't want either of them because something for me is that I hated I looked at the 6.5 bids to the 7.5 bids and I think they're all bad. I don't like any of them. For the reasons I just gave, right? To where none of them seem that high ceiling. You might disagree, right? But compared to what you can get for $1 million more, they all seem bad in comparison to the ones I have here. And so I didn't really want Jesus, so João Pedro was going to be the differential for me, but then everybody got him immediately because the other forwards got injured. So this is my strategy from 2 weeks ago, but now everyone has João Pedro, which makes me a bit upset, but it's
I like the team, man. I like it. I think that I don't think you have to put much thought in it. Just like Steve-O says, maybe just ease up on the Chelsea defense and just
right. I was thinking that might be a bit much. Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I think they concede against Liverpool and again West Ham at home. I think they've got every opportunity to score against them. I think Chelsea will do well. Don't get me wrong, but I almost think if you're going to go to Chelsea, the other Chelsea player needs to be probably at this moment in time Jackson, or see what happens with like the midfield. See how they perform, the likes of like Mudryk we had a minute ago. It's early days to know yet, but on an early if you're going to do a wild card, or if you're going to do
I hate early wild cards.
Or if you're going to accumulate transfers, and you're going to make some transfers anyway, so just hop on them as and when. I think that your price points throughout the team are good. Liverpool.
Yeah. So I'll say this, right. Everyone talking about Salah and Trent, I don't care about either of them, to be honest. I feel like they're both way too expensive. Especially for what I'm trying to go for here.
Salah's arguably more diluted this year, right? Because I
haven't thought about either of them at any point ever. Like I think they're both like bad. Like obviously they're both good options, but for, like what we want to have in an FPL team, I think they're bad because they just take too much money away from everywhere else.
So you're saying price per million they're bad?
Yes.
Right.
At least for like the first 6. At least for the first 6 on both.
Points per million, I should have said.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Absolutely fine. I don't have anything else to add, Steve.
No. I think it's a great team.
Come on again. Yes. Come on again. We're gonna have a party.
I might do one more question though. What do you two think about like when you have defenders, right? Everyone has Gabriel and everybody has like John Stones and stuff like that. I tend to not like centre backs very much. Because of how the game works, right? Like obviously the ceiling for some of them is kind of ridiculous because you can just score a header from a corner and like get 6, get a clean sheet, and then get like 3 bonus for like 15 or something insane, or maybe even 17 or 18. But they seem like very, very inconsistent, and more time I'll just see a defender who's good in the community's eyes get 6 or 7 as their ceiling because they are a centre back.
Well, it's obvious. The obvious answer to that is that premium defenders, if they're not a centre back, they are more money. Well, and
that's why.
To save money, people go with centre backs instead of the fullbacks because they're 1 million or 1.5 million cheaper.
Indeed. This is why I wanted Zinchenko, by the way, because he was in my first draft. As my Arsenal defender, but then he just didn't play in pre-season, presumably because he's injured. But
go with Timber.
Hello, Sugar.
Probably Timber.
I don't trust that, to be honest. Like he's obviously good, but I don't
apparently the Wolves manager's gone.
Yes, yeah. Paulie broke it earlier. Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah. Just before you leave, Barry Shuttleworth is saying that you need a late night radio show. You have got quite a calming voice.
Oh, that's interesting. I'll take that.
Where are you from?
No, I'm from London. From West. So
he's whispering into our ears right now because he's trying to keep his voice down. Right? Am I right?
Where in West London?
No, I just talk like that, to be honest. I don't know.
Where in West London are you?
How to describe this? Like Shepherd's Bush area, really.
Oh, that shithole. Right, okay.
Steve-O, such a way with words. We were doing so well, weren't we?
It's a bit further central than that, but this is the best way to describe it, really.
We are nice. We are nice people.
I understand.
Oh dear.
JR, thank you.
Thank you, man.
I appreciate it, man. See you later.
Get back to Goldhawk Road. I think
I don't get that, but okay.
It's a dump. Goldhawk Brew. If you're still listening, you'll understand that. I think we've got time for probably one more, Jason.
Okay, we're going to be going live again to do more calls tomorrow. So if you missed coming on the show tonight, come on tomorrow. We're going to go through the call as fast as we can tomorrow. because I know that tonight we were pretty much chatting away, and there was a lot of people waiting. So, who's next?
I was going to say, because he's the only one that's put his team in the screenshots, is Mario Moss.
Mario Moss. Get him in. Bring him in. Come on down.
Bring
Mario
on the
Moss.
wall.
Hello, Mario Moss. Hello, Mario.
Has he unmuted his mic? Yep, there we go.
Hello, Mario.
Hello?
Hello. Where are you from, buddy?
Can you guys hear me? I'm from South Africa.
Oh,
Blimey.
100.
Hey, let's go.
Hey, good, man. So, how you doing?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
Whereabouts in South Africa are you from?
I'm in Cape Town.
Nice. I love Cape Town. A beautiful city. Beautiful city. With the waterfront. Many days down the waterfront, enjoying the sunshine and the market. Is the market still there on the waterfront?
Yes, always.
Beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. Anyone that's listening, if you ever get a chance to visit Cape Town, absolutely brilliant. And it's a safe. I felt safe there when I visited as well. It's a safe part of South Africa. I really enjoyed it. We'll go back there again at some point. Table Mountain. Do you go up to Table Mountain? Have you seen the Dassies?
I literally just moved to Cape Town, so...
Oh, right. Okay, so you haven't been up there yet?
I've been here for like 6 months. And I'm still here. I'm still going through a couple of things in Cape Town.
Don't stroke the Dassies, whatever you do. They're little tiny little fur creatures, okay? They look like gerbils, but apparently they're pretty nasty if they bite you. So just don't do it, because they will come up to you. And I almost got told off for trying to pick one up. But I digress. Welcome, man. You're new to the channel. You recently joined. I think it's the first time I've seen you on Discord.
Yes. I was on YouTube and I saw you guys did a live, and you guys pretty much are one of the only couple of guys that actually talk proper FPL. You guys aren't just going with the flow like all the others. So I enjoy what you guys talk about.
Appreciate that. Yeah,
I find it ironic though that we've had several people on tonight that have never been on the show before that have discovered us yet.
Steve-O, maybe the algorithm is supporting us a little bit better today.
Yeah, the regular.
It's because I've updated the graphics, Steve-O. That's what it is. The graphics we get supported by the YouTube algorithm. It's simple as that. We just update the graphics every week. It's fine.
Mario, your team. Oh, I just wanted to read this quickly from Colm. I lived off Gold Hawk Road when my parents came to England, then moved to Southall. 2 shitholes. I'm now back in Ireland. Says it all. So, Marios, your team is pretty much...
Read it out, Steve-O. Read it out.
My team, kind of like we're just swapping and change with the odd player. So, Onana in goal, Gabriel, Estupinan, Stones, Fernandes, Rashford, Madison, Eze, Saka, Haaland, Watkins. It's a great team. What do you want to talk about?
I'm pretty much stuck between 2 teams. I'll post my other one now. So this is the team that I'm looking at to like keep structure and keep with the group. So I don't fall behind on points, but I am missing out. It seems like a couple of people are gonna grab Kane or Salah, like from today. It seems like it. So in short, I just want to know on the space of the sub being cash, is there anyone better that you guys would recommend opposed to cash as a 4.5?
Are you going to be playing this player though?
Matty Cash, probably like in maybe game week 2 when Eze's got Arsenal that he's going against, I might put Cash in against Everton.
So you're going to play, you're going to bench a player who's going to be up for it at home to a team that he wants to prove himself against, for a player in Matty Cash who has the probability of there's a small chance of him missing out against Everton, possibly coming on as a substitute. That is madness. I'd rather bench Estupinan versus Wolves if I'm in your shoes.
Sure, that would make more sense.
People have been talking about that. People have been talking about that Pau Torres, haven't they?
Yes, they got Pau Torres.
I mean, some people have been saying that he might be better. I mean, you've got Colwill, which is like the budget Chelsea cover. If you think Chelsea are going to have clean sheets over the first, 12 games or whatever, 14 game weeks. They've got some good games in the first 14 game weeks. So if you're not too bothered about 4.5 defenders, that could be another option that you could rotate with. But really at 4.5, you are scraping at like the low end, aren't you? So you that's probably the best you're going to get, really. Botman for Newcastle, when their fixtures swing around, could be a good option from game week 6 onwards. But starting the season, I mean, I would probably go with Colwill or Pau Torres or like you've already got Cash. I mean, there's not much of a great pool of players to choose from.
FPL says, why is Cash a rotation risk? Is because there are about 50 other players for Aston Villa that seem to be competing for that spot, unfortunately. And it's all depending on stating the obvious, but the kind of strategy that Emery's wanting, and depending on the opponent that Aston Villa are playing. But right now, Cash is fine. He'll play the opening few fixtures. Once certain players come back into the foray, he's going to be a risk. But for now, he'll be fine. And I think that there's a small chance that Cash could be giving us owners some very good returns. Genuinely, I think that there could be a chance of a double-digit haul in there somewhere. But you've got the second team structure here that you've uploaded here. So it's a let me get it up on the
let me get up on the screen. So yeah,
a 3-5-2. And not. I mean, this is just disgusting. Onana in goal, Gabriel, Estupiñán, Akanji, Saka, Matoma, Salah, Rashford.
Gvardiol could be Kanji. Could be one to look at as well. Obviously,
Yes.
80 million they bought him for? It's 5 million.
But Akanji's nailed for now. He'll play. Don't worry about him. And then Pedro and Haaland up top. I mean, of the two teams, I prefer this one.
Gabriel. So let's just because I interrupted you. So we got Onana in goal, a back three of Gabriel, Akanji, and Estupiñán. You got Saka, Matoma, Salah, Rashford, Madison. Sounds familiar, Steve-O. And then a 4.5 of Mubama as a non-playing. Well, he's a playing, but a bench fodder. And then you've got João Pedro and Haaland. I mean, this team is great. It's a great all-round team. The only thing I would say is 2 Brighton attackers. I mean, triple Brighton, 2 attackers. I mean, yeah, I mean. But it's obviously an instant means of having Salah and Haaland in. I get it. There's not much better you can do. Not much better you can do here with Salah and Haaland. So I think I agree with Steve-O. I think this team is likely to score more.
If I see this team, that if Jason had this team,
it was very similar to my team.
Yeah, I'm looking at it thinking, Christ, this is hard to beat. Basically, I think this is excellent.
I got Matoma inside pretty much because of his ownership being so high, but I prefer Eze as a player. I think Eze is going to have a better run in his first game, and he's more nailed on with Hodgson as a coach for Crystal.
Yeah, again, this is a team here in which I look at and go 10 out of 10, especially to have a 5 million goalkeeper who plays for Man United. You've got a Man City defender who's, I would say, 75 to 80% chance of starting with Diaz. Don't need to talk about the other two. Don't need to talk about your midfield. Don't need to talk about the 2 up front. And then if Akanji doesn't play, you have got Bulldog or Kabora that comes on. I think you've nailed it here.
Thank you, guys.
Good team. Thanks for coming on, buddy. How likely is this going to be your... Out of the 2 teams, what percentage are you at the moment with structure 1, structure 2? Where are you at in your head?
I'm calculating the points with what Salah could give me versus with what Watkins would give me, and I'm favoring this one. I feel Salah gives me the captaincy option in game week 2.
Yes.
Yeah, just that makes a lot of sense to me. Let us know if you get a chance to come on Friday or before. Let us know if you're going to stick with this plan. There's going to be a lot of tinkering, I'm sure, with a lot of people's teams. But this one doesn't need any. I think this is pretty much good to go. But you'll always want to do better, Mario. I know inside your head you're always thinking, "Oh, I can try and improve it," but sometimes you don't need to touch any. And I think this is a good example of that.
I'm just the only change would probably be Eze and Mitoma swapping.
Well, yeah, if you don't want to, I mean, again, it's just have that diverse.
I'd rather have Eze over Matoma.
Yeah. How much is Eze?
Same, 6.5.
Yeah, probably would just straight swap Eze then in for Matoma. Yeah.
The only thing scary with this is that there's no money left. Whereas in the first draft, I was left with 0.5.
You don't need it. It's fine.
You don't need it.
You've got salary already. You've got salary in your team already. You don't have to go higher. So, all good, my friend. All good.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. Thank you ever so much. We're gonna wrap it up now. Steve-O, it's getting late. My wife's asking where I've gone, because I wasn't planning on streaming tonight. But first of all, thank you to everyone that's been typing away in the chat. I've been reading your messages, not necessarily always reading them out loud, but I've been reading them, responding to some of them. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the support that you continuously show the channel. And jump in the Discord if you haven't already at Elite FPL. Get yourselves on our socials. And if you haven't already liked the stream, hit the like button. It helps us. And for some reason, we've been getting new community members today, which is pretty amazing. Which is it's really nice. Really nice to get some new ones. We really love our hardcore Elite FPL audience, but it's always nice to get a few new members and a few new faces in the Discord and on the streams. Steve-O, tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Same again?
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, Steve-O. Goodbye, everybody. Take it easy. All the best.
I saw you